Welcome to Willing Lightbulb and to one in an occasional series of videos discussing quality topics. Today we're looking at strategic measurement as it relates to quality objectives. I'm often asked if there is a sign or a quick litmus test to tell me if I'm dealing with a quality business. For me, it's when a business learns when to turn some of its graphs upside down. Let's see what that means. Senior management is the guidance system for a business. We rely on it to express vision and a mission for the business, to meet and develop meaningful policies, and use these policies as a framework for objectives. It's important that these objectives should also be SMART. No, not quite like that. Let me try again. Objectives have to be specific. If policy is obscure, people find it hard to see how they fit in. And if the corresponding objectives are unclear, they may not understand the ways in which they can contribute to required success. Objectives must be capable of actually being measured. If data collection and convention is complicated, ambiguous, or full of errors, the results can never be truly known nor relied upon. Keep objectives achievable. Any sky-high ambition that implies resources beyond current capability cannot be met. To be realistic, the objectives must be in tune with the business. What's good for a multinational doesn't always apply to a small or medium enterprise. And to bind it all together, it should be time constrained, that is, setting a reasonable period of time when the results can be meaningful and useful. The nature of normal business cycles, especially financial ones, should make this easier to set, but the time frame should be informed by other SMART tests. So taken together, objectives that pass this sense test can be seen as SMART. Let's take another look at measurement. Measurements should be linked to the objectives of the business and designed to produce meaningful information. We understand the power of numbers to describe what we do. We also know that high and low numbers can be used to create emphasis when getting that point of view across. It's not just in business, we do it in everyday life. For example, last winter was very cold, as much as -6 where I live. By contrast, summer was great, with most days topping 80. And somehow when I describe the weather, everyone seems happy that I'm mixing Celsius and Fahrenheit on a single scale to measure the temperature. It's how we speak. 80 sounds hot, 26.6 doesn't really sound like we're off to the beach. We have an inbuilt, rosy, comfortable view of high numbers, and in business we try to be optimistic, so we naturally lean towards aspirational targets and achievements. Many objectives then are traditionally set against higher percentile targets, and the wall graphs all look the same, rising from bottom left to top right. The risk here is that our comfort for high numbers can make us complacent. Let's take a practical example. Our imaginary business relies on a lot of project work. It already knows that 100% targets fail the SMART tests, but that's a topic for another day. Our business sets a 95% target for the year for on-time project completion. By April, it's heading the right way. Everyone stands back and looks at the graph. 93% looks pretty good. And because it looks high enough, the emphasis and drive to manage the objective falls away over the coming months. Quality is all about conforming service and the benefits that the conformity brings to the business. So we need to look at it another way. Instead of aiming at an aspirational target of 95%, the quality business looks at it again, this time as a measure of non-conformance. 2% off target, that's a 2% unbudgeted overrun on all projects. That's 4 man-days per project. At current workloads, our consultants are working 4 days for free on each project, pretty much every month. So we encounter the cost of poor quality, and we're going to pay for it twice. The operational cost of the consultant's time and the opportunity cost in not being able to sell their skills out. In this instance then, it makes sense to turn the graph upside down, and to make everyone clear, it's renamed from project completions to project overrun. A new target is set at 5%, and the data is recalculated to provide a current rate of 7%. Over the next month, resource loss is reduced by corrective action to wrinkle the gap to just 0.5%. Margins are increased with a return of billable time, and customers are happy that things finish on time and trust the company's future estimates. Not all graphs need to be reassessed. Traditional illustrations of rising turnover and sales are good for morale, especially when the arrow bursts through the horizontal line for this year's budget. But when conformity is a concern, be prepared to turn the graph upside down. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check in again at www.willinglightbulb.com.